In this day and age, it's, to me, extremely important to emphasize how much better music sounds at the higher quality level. So many of our fans and people in general, and I fall into this category myself often too. I listen to music with MP3 files that are compressed and that I listen because of convenience. All the music is in your phone, and you can store a lot of music in this small device, but it's not necessarily hearing the music at its best. Over the years, I developed my own philosophy about it, which is that I'm very, very flattered that they find my music interesting, but I'm also concerned creatively that my music is used with respect, not just for the business end of the respect, but for the creative side of it too. And so I've been through all variations of that. Sometimes when my music was used in an offensive kind of way, and then I have to confront that with trying to protect my rights as much as I can. It's hard to say. Our original intent would have been to have it be all live takes, but in this day and age, both Nathan and I have been in very sophisticated studios working on so many different kind of projects where we get used to the fact that you manipulate, or that things don't come out perfect on the first time down. Philosophically, especially on this project, which is supposed to be a dialogue between me and Nathan, it was very important for us to play together as we were creating the arrangement, as we were coming up with the performance. Probably the most frustrating part of it was the logistics. We're both very busy. Our Yamaha producer's very busy. Nathan lives in Los Angeles. I live in northern Michigan, and the studio where we wanted to record was in Nashville. So we had to figure out some kind of scheduling way for us to be together for a long enough period of time to really dig in. And so it took longer to make than we had originally planned. Biggest thing in my life right now is that I have a premiere performance of a piano concerto that I composed, that I've been working on for the last year and a half, off and on when I wasn't doing these projects. And it's going to happen in Tokyo on the 5th of September. My mind is really focused on that now. It's a big deal for me because I've dreamed about it all my career. I studied classical composition in college, but the jazz field beckoned and I went in a different direction. Well, I hope that jazz remains a daring field, a experimentation field. I'm not a believer that there is any pure way of playing jazz, primarily because it is improvised. It represents the spirit of the people that are doing it at that time and is influenced by the time that we're in. Now we're in the year 2015. It's very, very different from the early 20th century when Dixieland and swing and ragtime and bebop, all those different earlier styles of jazz were an outgrowth of what was going on socially at the time. I hope that the young musicians that are going to be playing jazz in the future stay open and creative. Jazz has a long enough history that it's almost like, in a way, like classical music now. But in order to stay vibrant and meaningful for the younger generation, the pulse of it, the feeling of it, the intensity of it has to reflect the 21st century. And I am very happy to see some young artists that I really admire taking advantage of that. I think of it like I'm taking them on an adventure. some of which, since I have a past track record of other albums, many of the people that listen to my music will have a certain expectation for the style based upon what they've already heard. And I like to surprise them a little bit. I don't want them to always be in a totally comfortable place. So I like it if our fans feel a little bit of danger or surprise. I believe that this album, The New Cool, that I made with Nathan, has a lot of surprises in it, and just the concept of itself is different from what many of our fans will expect. And having taken the responsibility for taking them on that adventure, I want them to feel the danger, but I want them to realize after they get into this new place that it's a fun adventure, that it has romantic possibilities, and that at the end of the adventure that they will be glad that they went on it.